Straight like that, man. Y'all know the vibes. You woke up this morning and damn it, you already won. I hope you are doing something right now that your future self will thank you for. It's your boy Earl of Pearl. I got the big homie G Bush in the building for the first of two Ultimate 216 shows for this week. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I need y'all to jump in the comments right now and let me know where you are watching from. What up, bro? How you feel, man?
And let me tell you how this dude Earl be. So this dude Earl, bro, he hit me up. Listen, he caught me coming into the studio. Like, he caught me early. I came in. I ain't been in the UCSS about 3 days. He caught me coming in. See, he good. He know how my schedule be. He be like, listen, I'm going to catch him when he in here. Do not text G Bush. Don't say you got to catch him face to face. Because then if you catch him face to face, he's like, yo, bro, how you doing? You good? I said, yeah, bro, I got some medication. He said, forget all the rest of that. I need you on the show today.
Like, you all right? You straight?
You did? All right. Did you die? All right, cool. We ready?
Let's roll. All the business, man. But no, man, I felt compelled to have you on. You know, I try to do things in order. I wanted to wait until we got our head coach to start talking about the quarterback room, in particular, Shedeur Sanders. But before we get to any of that, as people are starting to file in and get ready for this show, man, I just want to give a big thank you and shout out to every single person that has supported the Ultimate 216 show. Yesterday, February 8th, was the 2-year anniversary of the creation of this show. January 30th, the Ultimate 216 show surpassed 1 million lifetime views, man. And all I can do is just like give glory to God, because for me to be brand new to podcasting, doing this show just once a week and having life events take me away from being consistent and to still hit that number, man. It's in large part, it's in all part due to every single last one of y'all. I just thank y'all for being with me on this journey as I authentically grow. Also, for the month of January, the Ultimate 216 show had the most downloads on Spotify and Apple of all the spinoff shows. So again, shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me, man. Y'all have been nothing short of supportive. And, you know, they say iron sharpens iron, as one person better than another. And before we kick off into any Browns content, it is Black History Month. I'm going to say that again. Let's give it a hand clap. It is Black History Month. And it is quite fitting to have you on, because I thought about you a lot. You know, there are other Black hosts and Black radio personalities and media personalities who get the opportunity to do this job right here in the city of Cleveland. But we both have a radio background. And in the now 14-year history of 92.3 The Fan, you were the first ever Black radio host to grace their airwaves. I think I stand corrected in saying that right now, currently, you are the only full-time Black media personality in any role right here in the city of Cleveland. G, in your own way, man, you have been a trailblazer. What does it mean to you to be a Black man in this position, and understanding what your voice and what your tone truly holds?
Well, listen, you know, you standing on the shoulders of other giants that came before you. I always give credit where credit is due. Two of the biggest pioneers that came in this game was the BSK Kendall Lewis. You know, I listened to them growing up. Another guy that was really big on 19 Action News, Ronnie Duncan. I had an opportunity to do the first inaugural. I was the MC, co-MC with Ronnie Duncan for the National High School Hall of Fame. And I was able to induct Ted Ginn, Bernie Kosar, some of the big names. And the crazy part about it is I went to school with his daughter, Jerika Duncan, who works now on CBS Nightly News. So before, just in short, like, we always pay it forward. And so without those dudes and those guys being who they were and being just being so authentic to who they were, like, it wouldn't give me an opportunity to be authentic to who I am. And I think that's, in Black History Month, I think that's the biggest important thing is there are so few of our voices, and it's important for you to have your authentic voice. You know, it's easy to get in the game and get here and then be like, okay, well, I got to play by certain rules. But I think it's so important that once you get here, you put your stamp on it. you be unapologetic about what you are, what you stand for, and how you want to deliver your content. So even moving forward, I'm just so happy. It's crazy to hear you on the other end of the spectrum and get to that 1 million view mark. Like that mark is crazy, because 1 million, like when you get into the game, you don't ever think about no numbers like that. 1 million is crazy. Like, so 1 million people like took time out of their schedule to come in and show support to me. That's a big thing. And that's a testament to what you did to add your spin on the game. Now you done took it further. You know, when I came in, now, you know, I get an opportunity. I had a chance to listen to you and Spencer on the radio. So now I get a chance to see all your stuff. And now there's people that came into the game that's Black, African-American, that want to get in, and you their favorite dude. And you the dude they listen to. So that's so important to get that off. So congratulations to Ultimate 216, man. It's, you know, it's like, I'm like, man, I'm proud to hear that. And I love to hear that, you know what I'm saying, you growing and continuing to get them moving. So, you know, shout out to everybody else out there, but that's what I'm looking to do and continue to do.
I appreciate you, brother, man. As we get this show started, it kind of is a perfect segue. Again, like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Everything that you just alluded to kind of talks about iron sharpening iron. And me and you, who are huge fans of Shedeur Sanders, and two guys that really hope everything aligns itself and he can go on to be the future franchise quarterback of this football team. We understand how important competition is. We understand how important, like, you know, that brings out the best out of you as a person. Here we are giving each other our flowers, but I can tell everybody that's watching this for sure that there's a healthy dose of competition when it comes to me and you. I can recall there was times, you know, when I was starting off on the radio hosting, and people would say, well, damn, man, you got to go after G. Bush. You ready for that? And I kind of looked at it like, well, G. Bush had to go before me. He better hope he did a good enough show. And so, you know, that leads me to, you know, over the weekend, of course, the Super Bowl just took place, came and went. The game was not really all that cool, but we can talk about that a little later. But two clips surfaced, one from Up and Adams and one from the Bleacher Report. And it was one from Denzel Ward. The other was from Myles Garrett, speaking on their thoughts and their point of view of where Shedeur Sanders stood right now going into the 2026 season as it pertains to him being QB1 or not. The first clip we're going to play, G, is from the Up and Adams show. Here's Denzel Ward talking about the Cleveland Browns quarterback, Shedeur Sanders.
Is he the starting quarterback of the Browns in your eyes?
I mean, that's not my decision to make.
You're a veteran on defense that goes up against him.
Yeah, that's not a decision made. But, I mean, we got guys still on the roster that, you know, that is going to provide good competition at that position. So, looking forward to seeing that happen. And, yeah, let the best guy win. But I think we got a lot of talented guys still in that room that can compete. But he's definitely in a good position to get that starting spot if he wants to go get it.
Again, that audio is courtesy of Up at Adams. G, any thoughts before we play the Myles Garrett audio on how Denzel Ward answered that question?
Hey, man, you know, listen, I like it. I like it. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we already know what the game is. I think they didn't have the meeting. They didn't have the team meeting, the meeting behind. Listen, guys, we're going to hear a lot of questions about the quarterback room. We ain't even really going there like that. We ain't naming nobody. But you already know how it is when somebody asks you a question or you be like, you know, he from Cleveland, he a playboy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He like to be into the gear and the fashion, you know, he up there pretty like a DB, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is though. Like, I ain't gonna say his, you know, but I feel like we got a lot of dudes back there. His voice got 2 octaves higher, like he was talking to a shorty, like that. It was 145. He was talking, but I'm just saying, though, he was politicking up there, and I like what he was bringing to the table. But he eventually is like, he noticed, because I done heard both these clips. They both said it's his if you want to go get it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go get it.
The second point he said was he's in a good position to go get it. What sets up? Here's Myles Garrett talking about Shedeur Sanders. This audio right here is courtesy of Bleacher.
4 quarterbacks, the challenges. Do y'all have the guy? Is Shedeur the guy?
That's what we're looking at as a guy. You know, we're going to give him a shot to prove that he's a guy. So we're not going to give anyone that title until they go out there and earn it. And he was the last person to be on the field, and he showed some flashes. So we're going to give him an opportunity to show what we can really do, uncork the ball.
Again, man, that's courtesy of Bleacher Report. So, I've been waiting a long time since the season ended to really start to give my 2 cents on how I see this thing like shaping out. And quite honestly, man, I know this is going to ruffle some feathers and make some people uncomfortable, but I got a very, very, very strong gut feeling that the starting quarterback heading into the 2026 season is currently on this roster. I know that a lot of talking heads, and I know our show included, are going to do a lot of content during this offseason and a lot of shows. Hell, we did one today talking about Kirk Cousins, bringing up all these different possibilities of who can come into this quarterback room. Now, with that being said, on Instagram right now, there's a video circulating of Todd Monken's first interview with Nathan Segura, and he talked about on the quarterback room in particular. Excited to get started with the guys that's in the room and add a guy possibly in the sake of competition. And to me, the first thing I thought about was a veteran like a Jameis Winston or Tyler Huntley, guys that's familiar with what he's done before. Just to be quite honest with you, man, I think that Shedeur Sanders is going to get every opportunity to win this starting quarterback job. If we keeping it a buck with each other, bro, of all the quarterbacks that's currently in that room, he won the most games, and he got the least amount of time to get repetitions, to get himself comfortable and to build chemistry. And I just feel like that he showed enough. We've had shows in the last couple of weeks to where people, feel like that Shedeur Sanders was god awful and nothing was there. But, as much as people want to point out the bad, he did have a 300-yard passing game. He did have a game where you seen the athleticism and the scrambling ability. He did have a game to where he led a game-winning drive. He beat a couple teams that was going to the playoffs, held in there with another one, right? And so to me, he's done more than enough to go in there and compete. And then when you look at the other side of the coin, when it comes to Deshaun Watson, you have been very, very vocal in saying, listen, the best thing possibly that could have happened to this dude in hindsight is being put in a situation to where the microscope ain't on him, right? He been laying in the cut, quiet, working out, kicking it, like he done got married, vacationing, and there's a whole different approach to things where there's no expectations, there's no pressure, there's no anything like that. Just talk about the Shedeur Sanders part of it. And as a guy who's played, football at a high level, when you hear like earn the right to compete, exactly what does that mean inside of a locker room?
Man, so, I think that, the Cleveland Browns have done a great job in protecting and putting their plans under wraps. I think they did a good job in the way they've been phrasing things, posting things. They've done it. They've gone out of their way to say that they've liked certain things from Shedeur Sanders, but they've also said that the expectation is that anybody that steps on the football field has to earn it. And so they're not going to play around with the games, because if he would come out and say Shedeur Sanders should be the guy and he's going to get the automatic nod and he's going to do those type of things, then people would say, well, oh, he didn't earn it. A lot of what happens in Cleveland is we do a lot because the Browns haven't won in a lot of games, but you can get bogged down in narrative. You can get bogged down in conversations where you're talking about whether a guy's a franchise quarterback or he's not. What Todd Monken needs to do is see how Shedeur Sanders plays in his offense, give him the opportunity to prove it not only to him, but the rest of the team, and to not only prove it, because I think there's some things he's already done. If you listen to Myles Garrett's conversation, he said, is he the guy? We're looking at him as that now.
Right.
So we just going to give him the opportunity to cement that more. He's going to get he said, and in that clip, he said, well, look, man, what about the guy that's getting $49 million? He's like, well, listen, Shedeur ended up last. He was the last dude on the field. He's going to get the first bite at the apple. I said, okay. So what they setting up is, it's the best of both worlds. Shedeur Sanders is going to get the opportunity. And at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson is going to get an opportunity to rehabilitate his career. Because the one thing that I've always had a problem with, and I've always continued to have a problem with, is the notion that every single time that something doesn't go right for the Cleveland Browns, or somebody doesn't play well, or something doesn't go right, or whatever the case is, just get rid of them. That's not reality, bro. The Cleveland Browns have to develop just the same way those other teams have developed. You look at what happened with the Sam Darnold. You telling me that Deshaun Watson can't get some of his game back like Sam Darnold? It just take the right coach, the right situation, and the right mindset. So if you're looking for a guy that wants some money, that you want to go get a veteran, well, you got one of the highest priced veterans sitting right behind you. If you want to go get another guy that's a reclamation project, you got one that's sitting right beside him. If you want a development project in Shedeur Sanders, it's still there. And by the way, I'm still confused why people trying to get rid of Dillon Gabriel. You told me the supercomputer was ready to go. He can't be a backup. He can't be doing nothing. You see what I'm saying, Earl? Guys in Cleveland got to wrap their heads around it. Just because it's new doesn't mean that it's nice. You think new quarterbacks automatically mean new energy. They're automatically no. You got to roll what you got. Put your own work in around here, homie.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said. Like, I think it's funny to hear that guys like Mac Jones tossed around and Malik Willis are all people tossed around. And it's like, you hear a lot of people say, okay, the Cleveland Browns is going to add a veteran quarterback to this quarterback room. Well, they got a veteran quarterback in this quarterback room. His name is Deshaun Watson. I get it. It ain't been the prettiest of showcase over the last couple of years, but that is the veteran quarterback. You know, this whole narrative that Malik Willis all of a sudden got all the juice in the world and that people is willing to invest in him and see what he got. I just think it's funny that, okay, you're willing to bring Malik Willis in here and see what he got, but you're not willing to see what Shedeur Sanders got, and he's been sitting right here the whole damn time. How don't make sense.
You want right? You want to pay him $20 million. You want to pay him $20 million to see.
It don't even read. It don't even read. And to me, any type of approach like that, which I really hope is not the case, it just brings about the same drama that we're used to. And if we are going to change the culture and change the narrative, which from all accounts, when you hear Todd Monken talk, man, he's a straight shooter. And I don't think he's going to be dibbing and dabbling with all that BS. Now, when he says it's a possibility that he might add a quarterback, I'll be real with you. I don't think Dillon Gabriel going to be here. I just don't. I think that and we'll talk about this before we wrap up this segment, but when we talk about Todd Monken's offense and Todd Monken's style and, you know, what type of quarterback really fits the mold, yeah, we know that he can adapt to whatever he has out there. But like when you hear him talk about, you know, that big play, big arm ability or being able to scramble and things like that, it just seems like those intangibles and key elements to run his system successfully, those fit more in the mold of a Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson than it does in Dillon Gabriel. So why not ship Dillon Gabriel out here to Atlanta with Kevin Stefanski? Look, Michael Penix is already a left-handed quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying? Get another left-handed quarterback in there that creates continuity with how the offensive line is structured. Kevin seems to like him. If Monken wants to add another quarterback to this quarterback room that's familiar with what he does and can aid in the development and the tutoring of Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, then I can understand that. And to me, that makes more sense because you want to build out a healthy and competitive quarterback room to where, again, iron is sharper than iron.
You know what? I look at two or three things, and I like to read the tea leaves. My question is this, and I've always said, here's how you know what the plan is. People say, I don't know what the plan is with Deshaun Watson. You know what the plan is. If the plan for Deshaun Watson was to come in and immediately start, he would have the same timeline and expectation level as the other quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is doing interviews. Why don't you hear Deshaun Watson doing them? It's because he has a role that he's looking to fulfill. When Shedeur Sanders got on the plane and came back and met Todd Monken day one with the general manager, if it was truly a competition, would Deshaun Watson not be on that same plane? Like, I got to get ready. I got to be dialed in, ready to go. They already know what he's about to do and how he's going to do it. I think the Cleveland Browns they're playing it brilliantly, right? They're giving you an opportunity for them to go about their offseason and say, we can do anything we need to in the draft. We can do anything we need to do in free agency. We're going to have people with a level of urgency. Even Coach Prime said, listen, we trying to be by the offensive coordinator getting ready to go. Shedeur Sanders, when Todd Monken came in, he said, it's time to work. So it's all about a mindset of working. Nobody is giving anything, and that's what the Cleveland Browns need to get to, because I'm telling you, the thing about the Super Bowl that told me is, man, if you look at what they was doing, I was thoroughly not impressed with nothing I seen. And the notation that we are 35 years away is ridiculous. You just need the right coach, the right mindset, and to get your roster together, and you could play some ball.
One of the things Todd Monken said today was the first thing is he's excited. The second thing is build out an elite staff. Then you build out the roster, and then you create schemes that is meant for players to play fast and physical. You talk about the Super Bowl, and I tweeted this out earlier. Make sure y'all follow me on X, by the way, at EarlofPearl_216. I tweeted this out earlier that, no matter how much we talk throughout the season and how much we try to paint this picture that you just got to have this high flying ass offense and your quarterback got to be a top 5 quarterback and everything got to just be picture perfect on offense for you to reach your overall goal. It's like, man, no the hell it don't. Like, you just need a quarterback who can play well enough on a consistent level to get the job done. You need a stout defense and a strong ass running game. That's what gets the job done. All this trying to reinvent the wheel, like throwing the ball around 40, 50 times, man, that's cute. And it's nice for highlights in September and October. But every single year, no matter where the NFL is trending, when you get to November, December, and you playing football in January, the formula been the same. The last 2 Super Bowl champions, look at it. You run the damn football, you play some stout defense, and you have a quarterback that can manage the game. All these top 5 quarterbacks that everybody say we need, all they asses was sitting at home watching the Super Bowl with me and you.
Chilling. I keep asking, and what hurt them to their core, the poster child was Josh Allen. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm not a geologist, and I'm not, but I know where North America is. North America is dang near in Canada. Unless you is in California or Florida and it get January, watch how them games change. The Bills and the Broncos was doing work, and then all of a sudden Mother Nature said, no. I didn't see Lamar Jackson fold up. It's raining. It's slick outside. These conditions be changing, bro. Unless you got a team, and more than anything, it's a team. Not let's sell our souls for a franchise quarterback. It's, do you have a coach that's going to get you guys together that can make plays against another coach? Do you have a defense that can get after the passer? Do you have a running game? Do you have a solid offensive line? And do you have a quarterback that, more importantly, understands what type of game it is today? Maybe yesterday I needed to throw for 350, but today it ain't one of them days. We need to keep this ball out of the harm's way and run the football, and I need to get rid of the ball quick. Those are the things, and when you watch these games, more than ever, I think we're starting to see the parody and the debunking of this thought process that all you do is sell your soul for a quarterback, and then you get to where you're going to go. That ain't it, because all them dudes is getting fired.
Yeah, no, that's big facts, man. And as we wrap this up before we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, got to get some Cavs talk in.
You got to.
Just talking about like some key elements of what Todd Monken likes to do. A lot of 21 personnel. Of course, we talked about that before. Is where you have 2 running backs on the field. You're going to see a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. This right here allows Todd Monken to recognize what the defense is doing and audible faster into run or passing plays. A lot of RPO and a lot of motion. The air raid is a key component, but it is balanced with a strong multiple style running game. And so again, when we talk about
So, these things happening, but again, when you talk about the offense, I think one of the things that Todd Monken can really do is Todd Monken has the ability to be very multiple, and that's the thing you want to do. You want to be able to throw the ball, run the ball, stay balanced, and I think he got the most out of Lamar Jackson. I think he got the most out of those guys. And so when you look at, that's why it's imperative when you get down to a situation, it is imperative when you get to January, when you get to February, and you obviously want to play in the Super Bowl, you got to be well-versed and well-rounded. Jackson Smith-Njigba was looking great for the Seahawks. He was the offensive player of the year. But Kenneth Walker was the guy that they leaned on in those playoffs. So for me, what I like to see is obviously you're going to have things going on like, you need to have in terms of this offseason, offensive line and receivers. Sometimes, hey, my teacher used to say when you're doing math, we used to have this thing where we do an algebra and we was trying to figure it out. He's like, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Don't be doing too much. You know exactly what you need. We know what the Browns need at wide receiver, and we know what we need up front. Do not get into these drafts and confuse yourself and be like, you know what, but Arvell Reese can get after. No. That's not what it is. I love Arvell Reese. Listen, don't get in here and you got Caleb Downs. I love Caleb Downs. But don't get into the situation with Caleb Downs and be out here looking around and be like, all right, well, listen, we got to go best available on the board. There's going to be a couple of guys, me and Tyvis have been talking about it. Mekhi Lemon is a guy. Cardinal Tate obviously is one of them dudes. And then Jordan Tyson, that's going to be the big three. Maui Noga, the big tackle, that's a right tackle. I don't know if he's going to be a guard, but he's one of the very few. I'm going to let you guys know this is not a good tackle draft. It's not a good tackle draft. Caden Proctor out of Alabama. I don't like Alabama linemen sometimes. I do not like that sometimes. So we gonna keep it moving. So shout out to a bunch of y'all. Earl is he might be, I don't know, man. He might have had to reboot his computer, but we veterans up here. We talk all day. So make sure you hit that. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you checking out Earl the Pearl. Make sure you continue to talk about Ultimate 216 and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop in all of our videos. Now, here's the crazy thing. We don't get a chance to talk about this very often. And we got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me tell you something. A lot of people was upset when they moved Darius Garland. And I don't think a lot of people understood what type of restrictions and type of things that the Cleveland Cavaliers was going through. When you take a look at what the Cavs had done and assembled, I told Mikey McNuggets today, and I said, listen, I don't believe the Cavs were planning on making this move, and two things happened. One, Evan Mobley did not reach the plateau, reach the ceilings that they thought he was going to hit offensively in his game plan. And we heard it multiple times. People say Jason Lloyd would say, listen, hey, we Mobley has to be the best player in your team. And the one thing that was evident to me is as playing basketball in high school and looking at basketball in the NBA, to me, I just don't believe either you got the playbook, either you got the package, you got the skill set, you either have that in you or you don't. And a level of creativity, I just didn't see it in Evan Mobley's game. But another thing that we talk about is Darius Garland's health injury and his health issues. I just don't think that he had the ability to move around. I think that they thought he was alone. There's Earl. Wait, man, we done talked about what we get to. We finished up that. So we just talked all basketball a second ago.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know what the hell happened. My internet didn't go out, but StreamYard didn't load. Everything else on my computer was loading. So look, my apologies. Shout out to UG for holding it down, man. But I wanted to play a little bit of over under before we got out of here. As I'm getting that loaded back up, what is your initial thoughts on James Harden so far? The Cavs play tonight versus the Nuggets on the road to wrap up this West Coast trip. Cavs come into this game as 1-point favorites. The over-under is 237.5. Quick note, the Cavs have won 3 straight games against the Denver Nuggets. There are winners of 4 in a row and winners of 8 out of their last 10. Talk about the addition to James Harden, man, and what do you think it's going to do for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the long run?
Well, first of all, I think one of the things that you can see that's very evident when you talk about James Harden is his ability to pass the basketball off the pick and roll. When you have a guy like James Harden, who's a maestro with the basketball, he's gonna probe, he's gonna look at the defense and his pocket of pass ability to bigs is second to none. He just always is going at his own pace. And the thing that you can see that's evident immediately is how Jared Allen has been playing. Now, Jared Allen been playing well for these last couple of weeks, but just watch how he's able to pass the ball and get the ball to Jared Allen and even Evan Mobley when he comes back in the pocket pass ability. He always knows where the defense is going to be. And then also you take a look at what he's able to do down the stretch. When the offense bogs down and you go to your second or third rotation and your second or third option, what James Harden is able to do now is if you get stagnant, the ball can get to James Harden, and now you can run pick and roll. He has the ability to ISO. He has the ability to hit the step back. And so now you have two guys that now are not afraid of nothing. Like, they're not afraid of the big shots. You saw Donovan Mitchell able to pass the ball to James Harden. He hit 2 big threes, 5 of 8 for three-point line last game against the Kings. And they were able to go on an 8-0 run to kind of race almost a double-digit deficit. So the playmaking ability is there. The ability to get to the lane and hit the floater and get to, to his pet shots, and the ability to accentuate the pass game off the pick and roll with the bigs. I think it's a home run. There is some risk rewards with James Harden. We know what his background is and passes in the playoffs. We also know he has the ability to check smooth out. I don't know what kind of he got Marriott reward points when it comes to moving away from teams. This dude be just out. Like he'd be signing, like, I don't know, but the thing that he is able to do is when you get to the playoffs, you got another one of them dudes. And I don't think you thought that you had that same level of competency, trusting in Evan Mobley or Darius Garland as offensive players in the league. So I think it's a top-notch move. I'll be anxious to see this game. This is a big game in terms of the pecking order. Denver is a great team in the West. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do this tonight against the Nuggets.
So two things identified itself to me right away, one during the game, one after the game. During the game, his elite basketball IQ. This is a man that just showed up the other day, hadn't had even a single practice with his basketball team. He had a quick film study, and he was able to go out there, react, and kind of just catch his groove as he was playing in real time to integrate himself into what the Cleveland Cavaliers was doing. You talked about the elite playmaking ability, right? You just seen that on display right away and immediately. And the fact that him and Donovan Mitchell did something that no Cleveland Cavalier teammates had ever done, both scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter, that was crazy. After the game, just hearing him talk about coming to Cleveland and the humility and the humble approach of, I'm just trying to fit in. This is Donovan Mitchell team. He the leader of this team. I'm just trying to see where I can help that out and how I can help us achieve the overall goal. And the reason why that stood out to me is there's been a lot said and a lot written about the personality and the character of James Harden. And a lot of people, I think, that a part of the fear of this trade was they thought that he was going to come in here and just try to run this show like it was his team, where there's a foundation that's already been put in place. So let's wrap up. Let's have some fun. I want everybody in the chat to get in on this. If y'all getting ready to put some parlays in, it's going to help you. All these numbers came courtesy of FanDuel, by the way. So I just really, really want y'all to be a part of what me and G about to do. We about to do over under on points made, threes, rebounds, and assists. We're going to start with Donovan Mitchell. Over under 27.5 points for Spider today.
Over. Easy money. What he averaging 29 and
yeah.
And he had 30, we had 30 plus when James Harden was here.
35 last game.
And it didn't seem like it was my turn, your turn. I feel like it was getting it pretty much in the flow of the game, and he only had 6 in the first half. I'm definitely going over on this one.
Going over. I'm gonna go ahead and take over on the Spider as on the 27.5 of Spider as well. Like, it just seemed like, man, that 30-point mark. I know he ain't hit it every single game, but I feel real comfortable with him just being able to hit that as James Harden is being able to become this playmaker, and he's willing to play this pass first role, and he see how Donovan is doing.
And plus on top of this, Earl, you know what I'm saying? You saw how, Donovan Mitchell, was supporting his queen. She was out there doing
he inspired. He inspired. Right, he got to go out here and get busy tonight. And that is the key point that people ain't talking about. You seen how she was looking? You seen how she sounded? He like, I gotta go put on this show.
He might get
gotta
45.
put on the show.
I said,
James Harden.
Did he pull
Over under 21 and a half points for James Harden in this game.
20? What? How much weight?
21 and a half.
Oh yeah, listen, I got him at 24. He averaged 25 this year. I think the more and more you see, James Harden is going to get comfortable, and then he's going to start being able to dictate, okay, what type of game is this? Is this a game where I got to get Mobley involved? See, he's going to take, right now, he's going to do a little more scoring because Mobley is out, and Jaylen Tyson, he's going to have to figure out some of those guys. Sam Merrill has not been shooting the ball well. So right now, he'll understand, okay, I got to score a little bit more, but I think his scoring will come down appropriately and the assists will go up. But as of now, looking at what they're doing, I got him getting 24 this game.
I kind of got him. I got him over that 21 and a half as well. Somewhere about 23, 24, around what he had. You look at this matchup against the Denver Nuggets, and I'm not really sure if Jared Allen is going to be able to do what he's been doing the last couple games with Joker down there. And so them points is going to have to come a whole nother way. Right. Speaking of Jared Allen, this dude been getting busy lately. I mean, can't even absolutely ridiculously, like, say it with your chest. I'm Jared Allen. What you going to do about it? They got him for 15 and a half. You going over or under?
This is tough. They got Joker down there, Aaron Gordon. You know what? I think he got 14. I think I got him for maybe 16 points. I think that the thing that he's been helping is he was good for the free throw line, and after he hit for 40 plus against the Trailblazers, he's playing with a level of confidence. He's getting the ball, and he's not only doing that, he's hitting his little push shot from a little 10, 12 feet in. He's been very aggressive. 11 or 12 last night. If you can give me 16 points, Jared Allen, if you can give me that, Joker might go for his. But if you give me that, the Cavs got a chance to be close in this game, especially in Denver.
I'm taking an under on Jared Allen. I just don't see that, being the case just because of who the opponent is. But
how many
I definitely got him for it. I got him for a double-double. I got him for a double-double.
The Minimowski double-double? The 10 and 11?
I kind of like about 12 and 12, actually. About 12 and 12, something like that.
Okay.
Jaylen Tyson, man, my boy did not have the best game last time out, and I don't think that's going to happen 2 games in a row. FanDuel got his over-under going into this game at 12 and a half points. Are you going over or under on Jaylen Tyson?
This is a tough
chat. What y'all doing with Jaylen Tyson?
This is a tough one. Here's the thing. If anything, I think Jaylen Tyson was really getting a boost because they didn't have another ball player in there, another ball handler. And I think he handled the ball and playmate more when Darius Garland was out. So him not having a basketball, I might got him going under. I might got him getting 11 points today. Like, I don't know how it's going to work out. I think he's a guy that doesn't need the ball all the time, but I got him with about 11 points. I don't think he's going to get to 12.
I'm going to go over on JT. I just think he had a bad shooting game. I just think, for whatever reason, he was the one that kind of found himself on the outs, not really being able to catch that chemistry and that rhythm. I don't expect him to shoot the ball that poorly 2 games in a row. I think everybody is learning how to play together, and guys like him and Sam Merrill, they just didn't have it, versus the Kings. Speaking of Joker, they got Joker at 28 and a half. What you doing for Joker?
Hey, he's getting all of that and some.
Joker's,
he's going to get easy. That's easy money. That's soft serve ice cream. Yeah,
he might mess around and get a triple-double. And then Jamal Murray, 25 and a half of Jamal Murray. I'm going under.
Jamal Murray is one of the most, I guess, polarizing players. If Jamal Murray is on, like, he gets on these benders where he don't be trying to miss, he be hitting step backs and three. I'm gonna say he gets that too. I'm gonna say both of them get that. Now, if they want to win, they got to limit some of that other stuff. They can't let them other dudes get loose. But those two, I think they're gonna get theirs. I don't
think it's gonna be that type of night for Jamal Murray, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, when you can throw defenders like Jaylen Tyson and Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis at you to kind of like combat what you do well, like, them dudes are some pests and they get in your head. And I don't know. I just think like it might make things rough for him to where it might be one of them role players that might have to show up, because you got to think like the type of energy that he is going to have to give off on the other end of the court. Now you got to pick your poison, because Donovan and James Harden is both a walking bucket. Yeah, I just think it might be a long night for him.
I love the fact you said Schroeder and Keon Ellis is two. You notice the on-ball pressure, and you just notice it how it's moving. Like
B Skrill's like, yeah, triple double along with that fresh hot L dog facts. Hey, a triple double in the losing effort is nasty work. You can't even celebrate the triple double. Like, the media come ask you about it, like damn well you want to answer and talk about it, but you can't do it because your team lost. And it's gonna look like it's all about the stats for you.
I'll be like, hey, talk to me later. Talk to me later. My coach is here.
All right, let's get to the 3 points made. They got Donovan Mitchell at over under at 3.5. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I partake from time to time in a little $10 on this, $10 on that, right?
From time to time.
Anytime that I put in the Cavs parlay, I always take Donovan Mitchell for 4 threes. Always.
Yeah, he's gonna hit them threes. I mean, his volume is there. And I think it was 2 or something. Was he 2 or 6?
Yeah, that ain't happening again.
Yeah, I got him. How many? He won him 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like money. Put that book it. Light bars. Book that.
James Harden 2.5.
Book that. He booked that. He hits step backs all the time. Like
I'm gonna keep him at 2.
I got him.
Keep him at 2. I think it's gonna be more of a playmaking role, and then with him. I just think he got this ability to get downhill. We all know James Harden throughout his career has been notorious of getting that whistle and getting to the free throw line. I just think his points is going to come in other ways. They got Jaylen Tyson over under 1.5 3 points made. I'm going to go ahead and take the over on that.
I am too.
I don't think he's going to have a bad shooting night 2 games in a row. Your boy, Sam Merrill, they got the over under at 2.5 threes made. This is the wild card on this list, if you ask me, because Sam has not been shooting the ball well.
Nah.
Just as we say that, he might go out here and light it up for 20 points tonight.
Yeah, like he ain't been shooting it with confidence. I think the biggest part about it is while they trying to all figure it out with Harden, I think Jaylen Tyson, like what's the name got to tell him, that's like little bro. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell, that's like little bro. You like, listen. Still go out there and you got to be confident. You got to still be aggressive. So go out there and look for your shots where you look for them at. And I think between him and Merrill, you got to consistently keep those guys wanting to shoot because to win, you're going to need those guys to space the floor and be able to be in the corner ready to shoot, because Harden will find you, bro. He'll find you, man.
Yeah, he definitely will, man. Elite playmaking ability. James Harden, over under 8.5 assists.
Oh, yeah, he's getting those. I got him at like 10 assists. Like, I think in this game, he's going to be really trying to find guys. I think he gets about 10 assists today. I mean, and he only played with him like a day.
You're right. You're right. I'm taking it under. I'm taking him right at 8. That 8.5 it just don't feel right to me. I'm gonna go ahead and take him at 8. Last one. 9.5 rebounds for Jared Allen.
Oh man, that's tough. He's not a really with Joker in there. Aaron Gordon. Nah, I'm gonna get him. I think he get about.
I don't think Aaron Gordon playing.
He not playing.
I don't think Aaron Gordon playing.
It's just tough with Joker in there because Joker gonna give you 12, like just cause. And Mobley, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. He don't get that. He's not getting.
All right. Well, earlier I said I had him for a double. So
now you got to
go ahead. I ain't got no choice. I put myself in this corner to where I'm gonna go ahead and take him to get that. But more importantly, man, I just hope the Cleveland Cavaliers walk away victorious, make us winners of 4 straight, and we come back home on a positive note. Donovan Mitchell will be a part of the 3-point contest. That should be exciting next weekend. I did see before I jumped on here that the NBA is starting to have negotiations about adding 2 franchises next year, one in Seattle, one in Vegas. It's about damn time that you bring back the Seattle Sonics. And lastly, man, here's my hot take. I got a way to fix the NBA All-Star game, and it's so simple. literally put every back in their own team jerseys. The moment that y'all start coming up with these custom all-star jerseys, I thought it took away the competitive edge. Remember, like when it used to be either on the West Coast or the East Coast, that said coast to wear like the home jerseys and the other team will wear the road jerseys. There was something about pulling up All-Star Weekend to an arena with your team colors on, representing that city, and knowing that you had the chance to go out here and put on a damn show, right? It put you in a different space mentally. There was a different level of competition when we seen that. At least that's what I remember watching. The further you got away from the competition part of it, when you get to the spectacle of it all, it just seemed like that played a part in watering it down. Yeah, because even back then, right, they used to treat certain quarters like the entertainment part of it.
Right.
But they used to also buckle down and get busy and play a real game when it was all said and done. And a lot of people underestimate the psychological part of sports. And I'm just telling you, it's something about being out there in your own uniform, representing like the city that you play for, the team you play for, and giving it your all against somebody else that might be a rival versus seeing everybody in the same damn thing. It just hit a little different, in my opinion. What you think?
Hey, listen, it's easier to find the players too. Like with these jerseys, they all out there in astronaut suits. I'm like, bro, they got teal colors and all electric blues. And it's like back in the day when you keep just the home or the away, you know, it's easily identifiable. You know who that person is as soon as they get the rock. I just think, you know, it goes to, it's just the heart of who at the time and what era you come from. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times, like in this era, like where it's all kumbaya and everybody like you, it's kind of difficult because back in the day, Kobe and Shaq didn't even like each other. Like they're on the same doggone squad. Michael Jordan didn't like Isaiah Thomas, and then Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson fell out, and then Bird and Magic was going at each other during the season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then Shaq made a whole fake argument about why he didn't like David Robinson. I'm like, you gotta think about it. Like this was it. But I think going back to the jerseys would be great. And by the way, all of the stars, we want stars to compete in these things. Get your dunk contest back together. It's unacceptable that we know Zion Williamson for just doing dunks and he ain't never been in a dunk contest.
You know who they should have put in a slam dunk contest for real? Because one, I heard what Draymond Green said about like it shouldn't be no G League players just getting called up to compete. I agree with that, but dude, we got a dude right here in the city of Cleveland that needs to go compete. Naquan Tomlin needs to compete in the slam dunk contest.
And
that dude is high intensity, and he dunked like he mean it. Like if somebody pissed him off for real. Like a young cat like Naquan Tomlin need to find his way in a slam dunk competition for real. Man.
Well, he was just on the EBT. Like he was like, and I'm not talking about the entertainer like the classic. I'm talking about he was like. And like he in the NBA circles, he just now got a plate. Like they had to figure out a roster spot for my man. Like he was out there playing hard. Can you imagine? Like you playing every single game, and then you may look on the sideline, you got $250 million guaranteed. He over here trying to figure it out. And I'm glad. Shout out to him that he's on and he's doing this thing. But I want to see him in the dunk contest and Jaylen Tyson leading the league in 3-point field goal percentage. I need to see that too.
As we wrap this up, dude, those dudes right there is part of what made what the Cleveland Cavaliers did before the trade deadline possible. If Jaylen Tyson, if Craig Porter Jr. and Naquan Tomlin didn't emerge and develop into the men that they have become and the players that they have become, you wouldn't have felt so comfortable if you was Kobe Altman making these other trades that you made. Somehow you found a way to, you didn't get up under the second apron, but you saved a lot more money than what you kind of came into this season with. But somehow, some way, you found a way to make this team tougher, better defensively, and better offensively at the same time, where a lot of us, including us two, thought there was no way in hell that you was going to be able to make a move.
At all.
I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for pulling up, man. Thank you for sharing your sentiments of you being a trailblazer. Happy Black History Month to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody, like I said, that's been supporting the Ultimate 216 show since we launched this thing 2 years ago. Thanks for helping us get the 1 million views. just thank you for all your love and support, man. Remember, be great, spread love. Being great come with a price, and spreading love is priceless. Till next time, I love y'all, man. Peace. Hey, that was